On this day in history, October 20th, the War of the Austrian Succession begins on October 20th, 1740, when France, Prussia, Bavaria, and Saxony refused to honor the Pragmatic Sanction. The Pragmatic Sanction was an edict issued by Holy Roman Emperor Charles VI to ensure that his daughter Maria Theresa could succeed him. The refusal of these powers to recognize Maria Theresa's right to rule led to 8 years of conflict across Europe, involving many of the continent's major powers. The Continental Association is adopted by the First Continental Congress on October 20th, 1774. This non-consumption and non-importation agreement was a boycott against British goods and was intended to pressure Britain into repealing the Intolerable Acts, which were punitive measures against the colonies. The association played a significant role in unifying the American colonies in the lead up to the Revolutionary War. The Patent of Toleration is approved in Austria on October 20th, 1781. This decree by Emperor Joseph II granted limited freedom of worship to non-Catholic Christians, such as Lutherans and Calvinists, in the Habsburg monarchy. While it did not fully embrace religious freedom, it marked an important step towards greater religious tolerance in Central Europe. The United States Senate ratifies the Louisiana Purchase on October 20th, 1803. This monumental land deal, negotiated by President Thomas Jefferson, doubled the size of the United States, adding territory from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains. It was purchased from France for $15 million and greatly expanded the nation's potential for growth and development. The Convention of 1818 is signed between the United States and the United Kingdom on October 20th, 1818. This agreement settled the boundary between the U.S. and Canada along the 49th parallel from the Lake of the Woods to the Rocky Mountains. It also allowed for joint occupation of the Oregon Territory and helped ease tensions between the two nations after the War of 1812. The Battle of Navarino takes place on October 20th, 1827. This was the last major naval battle fought with wooden sailing ships, where an allied fleet of British, French, and Russian forces defeated the Turkish and Egyptian fleets. The battle was a decisive moment in the Greek War of Independence, leading to the eventual establishment of an independent Greece. The Long March ends on October 20th, 1935. The Long March was a strategic retreat undertaken by the Chinese Communist Party's forces, led by Mao Zedong, as they fled from the Nationalist Army. The journey covered over 6,000 miles, and although many soldiers perished, it ultimately strengthened Mao's leadership and became a symbol of communist resilience in China. The Kragujevac massacre occurs on October 20th, 1941, when thousands of Serbian civilians are killed by German forces in retaliation for partisan attacks during World War II. This atrocity is one of the darkest moments in the Nazi occupation of Serbia and is remembered as a symbol of wartime brutality against civilians. The Soviet Red Army and Yugoslav partisans liberate Belgrade on October 20th, 1944. This marked a critical victory in the Balkans during World War II, as German forces were pushed out of the city, helping pave the way for the eventual defeat of the Axis powers in Eastern Europe. General Douglas MacArthur returns to the Philippines on October 20th, 1944. After being forced to leave the Philippines in 1942 due to the Japanese invasion, MacArthur fulfilled his famous promise, "I shall return," by leading U.S. forces in the Battle of Leyte, which was a turning point in the Pacific theater of World War II. The House Un-American Activities Committee, WAC, begins its investigation into communist infiltration of Hollywood on October 20th, 1947. This led to the infamous Hollywood blacklist, where many actors, directors, and writers were barred from working in the film industry due to suspected communist sympathies, greatly impacting the careers of many individuals. The Soviet Navy performs the first arm test of a submarine-launched ballistic missile on October 20th, 1961. This test, involving the launch of an R-13 missile from a Gulf-class submarine, marked a significant step in the development of nuclear deterrence, as it showed the capability of launching nuclear weapons from submarines. The Saturday Night Massacre occurs on October 20th, 1973. During the Watergate scandal, President Richard Nixon ordered Attorney General Elliot Richardson and Deputy Attorney General William Ruckelshaus to fire Special Prosecutor Archibald Cox, who was investigating Nixon. Both refused and resigned, leading to Solicitor General Robert Bork eventually carrying out the firing. This event further damaged Nixon's credibility and accelerated his downfall. The Sydney Opera House is opened by Queen Elizabeth II on October 20, 1973, after 14 years of construction. The iconic structure, designed by Danish architect Jorn Utzon, has since become one of the most famous and recognizable buildings in the world, symbolizing Australia's cultural and architectural innovation. A plane carrying the rock band Lynyrd Skynyrd crashes in Mississippi on October 20, 1977. 6 people, including band members Ronnie Van Zant, Steve Gaines, and Cassie Gaines, were killed in the crash. The band was on its way to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, for a concert. The tragedy devastated fans and halted the rise of the Southern rock group, though the band later reformed. 2 police officers and a Brinks armored car guard are killed during an armed robbery in Nanuet, New York, on October 20, 1981. The attack was carried out by members of the Black Liberation Army and Weather Underground. The robbery and the subsequent manhunt became a major criminal case in the United States during the early 1980s. The revived Top Gear premieres on BBC on October 20, 2002. This popular British motoring television program, which originally ran from 1977 to 2001, was relaunched and went on to become one of the most watched shows around the world, gaining a reputation for its humor, car reviews, and elaborate challenges. The Sloan Great Wall is discovered on October 20, 2003. This cosmic structure, identified by a group of Princeton University students, was once the largest known structure in the universe. It consists of a massive wall of galaxies stretching over 1.37 billion light-years, and its discovery helped expand our understanding of the scale of the universe. The UNESCO Convention on the Protection and Promotion of the Diversity of Cultural Expressions is passed on October 20, 2005. This convention aimed to safeguard cultural diversity and the right of countries to protect and promote their cultural heritage, arts, and traditions, especially in the face of globalization. Muammar Gaddafi is captured and killed by rebel forces on October 20, 2011, in Sirte, Libya, ending the First Libyan Civil War. Gaddafi's death marked the end of his 42-year rule and was a pivotal moment in the broader context of the Arab Spring, which had seen uprisings against authoritarian regimes across the Middle East and North Africa. The Syrian Democratic Forces, SDF, declare victory in the Raqqa campaign on October 20, 2017. After intense fighting, the SDF recaptured Raqqa, the de facto capital of ISIS in Syria. This victory was a significant blow to the Islamic State's territorial control and a key moment in the global fight against the extremist group. Liz Truss steps down as British Prime Minister on October 20, 2022. After serving for only 49 days, she became the shortest-serving Prime Minister in UK history. Her resignation followed a period of political and economic turmoil, including controversial fiscal policies and significant backlash from within her own Conservative Party. Thank you most sincerely for your time and attention. If you found this presentation enlightening, I encourage you to share it with others, express your appreciation with a like, and consider subscribing for future content. I look forward to your company in the next installment.